Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, June 27th, 2022. So this will have covered the week of the 20th through the 26th of 2022. This was a reasonably productive week overall because I earned trophies in 3 games, including a couple of platinum trophies that were autopops. I apologize if my voice sounds off. I think I'm getting sick again because, healthcare job and being around a ridiculous amount of the virus that isn't allowed to be named. It was probably going to happen. I don't even know what it is, though. I'll figure it out soon. Anyway, so the games I completed this week, the first one was Resident Evil 2, the autopops. I'm going to try to keep this kind of short because, like I said, I'm not feeling great. So the autopop for Resident Evil 2 works perfectly. Just make sure you have both versions of the game on your PS5. Upload the save data from the PS4 version, and then download it onto the PS5 version, and it will automatically pop all trophies in the base game and the DLC. So thankfully I didn't have to do that awful DLC again. So you get a bunch of story-related trophies through here by just completing the game for your first couple times, once as each character. You have to witness the true ending, which I think requires you to complete the other 2 endings, the B-side endings. You have several very easy, unmissable trophies throughout the game. Most of these are super easy and should give you no problem and should all come pretty naturally, so there's nothing much to worry about with any of these. Then you have a boss fight here, the Stage 2G. This is in like the underground area. You have to beat him using the crane only once, which is a little bit trickier on the high difficulties unless you're using like the infinite rocket launcher, because what makes this game a lot easier is that you can purchase from the PlayStation Store an all reward unlock is what it's called. And if you do that, then you can actually gain access to all of the really good rewards throughout the game, including the infinite ammo rocket launcher. And that makes pretty much the entirety of the game significantly easier. Overall, kind of a joke with that because you can just kill everything in like one hit. So that's an easy way to do that. You have to find 2 hidden items using photo hints. And most of these trophies are technically missable, but a playthrough can be completed in just like 2 to 3 hours, so it's not terribly bad if you miss anything. This is a collectible trophy because you have to find all of the fanny packs or whatever those are. This one is the ATIS segment. It's not too hard on the easier difficulties. This one's a little bit trickier, escaping in 60 seconds as Sherry. This one is definitely a little bit trickier. I would recommend having a backup save before you start this segment because that time limit is pretty tight. So you're going to want to have that save to reload just in case you mess up because it's like halfway through the game. Then you have 2 more boss fight trophies for the end of the game, but you can do both of these with that infinite rocket launcher. You have collectibles, which are the files and the Mr. Raccoons, the safes and locks. So quite a few collectibles to find throughout the game. Then you have to complete the game on standard or hardcore with an S rank, as well as the hardcore mode in general. So it's best to try to combine these and do a hardcore S, because I think all you have to do is, I want to say, beat it in a certain amount of time and maybe like a certain number of deaths or saves or something. It's not particularly hard as long as you use that infinite ammo launcher. If you don't, you're going to be in for quite a bit more trouble. You have to complete the game without healing with a recovery item. This is best done on the easiest difficulty. You have to complete the game without opening the item box, which is a little bit tricky because you can't use any of the special rewards. You have to take 14,000 steps or fewer in a single playthrough, which should come naturally on one of your playthroughs. And then you have to complete the 4th Survivor, which is generally considered to be the hardest trophy in the base game. I didn't have too many problems with it. I got through it within probably 10 tries or less. So maybe I just got lucky or something, but I got through it pretty quickly. So hopefully this one doesn't give you guys too much trouble. I was pretty worried about it at first, but it really didn't end up causing many problems for me. So hopefully you guys have it the same way. Now as for the DLC, the Another Survivor DLC, this is a simple extra collectible that's added into the gun shop area as basically a promotion for the Resident Evil 3 remake. So, very easy trophy, nothing to worry about there. It's just, midway through the game, so you might have to start up another playthrough if you don't have a save there, unless you're just starting the games now. And then you have the Ghost Survivors. Now, completing the first 3 scenarios in training mode, as well as destroying the Mr. Raccoons, that's not really all that hard. The most difficult trophy in the game overall is completing the No Way Out scenario outside of training mode, because you're inside of like a gas station, and you have to kill about 100 enemies without dying, and you have very limited supplies. It was pretty tough. That gave me some trouble for several days, probably quite a bit of rage as well. I did eventually get through it, but it was definitely the most painful trophy in the game for me. So yeah, that's Resident Evil 2 auto-popped. I will do Resident Evil 3 at some point. I'm a little more hesitant about 7 because a lot of the DLC does not auto-pop, including the Ethan Must Die mode, and I do not want to deal with that ever again. But Resident Evil 3, I will absolutely do at some point. I mean, that's a pretty fun game, too. So, next up, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is another PS5 auto-pop. So, just like with the other game, you basically have both versions of the game on your PS5, upload your save for the PS4 version, download it onto the PS5 version, and then visit any meditation point, and your trophies should auto-pop. Now, that being said, for some reason with this game, not everything auto-popped for me, and I don't know why. Like, 4 of the combat trophies did not auto-pop, and we'll get to those in a minute. I haven't heard of that happening to anyone else, but for some reason it happened to me. So if that has happened to you, definitely let me know, because that's definitely kind of a weird thing to have had happen. You have to kick a Philic that has kicked you. You might be able to do that actually in the combat arena nowadays. Find all of the collectibles or all the chests and secrets. There's a lot of them in the game, so that's one of the rare trophies. You have to defeat the 4 mysterious creatures. You'll kill a couple of them just by playing through naturally, and the other 2 you just have to find. The Jedi skills, that one takes a little bit of grinding, but it's not too difficult. You should get it by the time you finish everything else. The holo maps, that one's just, another collectible type. Complete the story and complete all of these side quests. I believe all of these are unmissable story related. I'm not sure about this one. That one might not be unmissable story related. I don't know if this one is either. You have to craft your own lightsaber, which I thought was unmissable and story related, but I'm not entirely sure. This one should be unmissable. I think that might have been like the final boss fight. Defeat 50 enemies with reflected blaster bolts. That should come naturally because that's a great way to attack the stormtroopers. Parry 100 enemies is very easy. Now we're getting to some of the trophies that did not auto-pop, and this is the first one. Defeating an enemy using only kicking. So you can do it to a stormtrooper, a lone stormtrooper in the combat arena. That's the easiest way to do it because you only have to kick them twice. But yeah, for some reason that one did not auto-pop. I don't know why. Same with this next one, 3 enemies with a single lightsaber throw. Again, that one was fairly easy because you can just do it in the combat arena, just throw in a whole bunch of stormtroopers and then throw the lightsaber and you should be able to kill everything. But yeah, for some reason that one didn't auto-pop either. The slowed blaster bolt is fairly easy from... Well, actually, no, that one might not have been that easy. I don't really remember. Then you have to defeat 20 enemies with explosives. So I think I only defeated like 1 or 2 and it auto-popped for me after that for some reason. I don't really know why it did that, but I think that's what happened. So 20 enemies with explosives is a little bit grindy, but you can do it in the combat arena just by reflecting the rocket launcher shots from the rocket launcher stormtroopers. Defeat an enemy with a hack droid is pretty much unmissable while playing the game. Precision evade, that one's a little bit time-consuming from what I remember. The 25 enemies over the edge should come pretty naturally. Then 25 enemies under the effect of empowered slow. That one's a little bit tricky. You have to hold R1 down for longer than you think. And you can only get a few kills per run in the combat arena, but it's not too difficult once you know what you're doing. Then knock 2 enemies into one another. That's pretty easy. Hit an enemy with all lightsaber types. That's easy on the bigger enemies. The Ogato's tongue is pretty easy. Just look up a guide for it. The stim canisters are a very helpful upgrade because they heal you. That's your healing items. The terrarium, this one tends to cause a few little problems here and there just because the plants sometimes take a while longer to grow. So it should come fairly naturally once you do everything else in the game if you find the terrarium seeds fairly early. But just keep in mind that one can be a little bit trickier, a little bit more time consuming. Recruit all the crew members. I think all but one of them are story related, and the other one, there's nothing missable in this game, by the way, which is good. Find all the logs, which is just a random collectible trophy. Fully customize your lightsaber, and the customizing the looks of everything are easy. Scan all enemy types. That one's a little bit time consuming because there's quite a few of them in the game. Again, I don't think this trophy should be missable with the combat arena and everything, but it is there, so do keep it in mind. Defeat each bounty hunter. There's like 4 of them. And then 75 Force Echoes should come along the way. They're an easy-to-find collectible. And now, Ghost of Tsushima. This is the big thing that me and Ghost have been working on this week. So we can look at all of the DLC here. So first we have the Legends mode. This is the hardest DLC by far in the game. So you have to complete all 9 of the stories. That's going to get you the first 2 trophies. You can do it on bronze. You'll want to start out on bronze anyway. Those are easy. Then you have to reach rank 20 in any role, but you actually have to reach rank 20 on all roles, which is just a very grindy process. It's not particularly hard, because you can just farm out bronze and silver if you want, and those are way easier. But if you want to get it done faster, gold is a little bit of a better way to go. The final wave in a gold survival, this one I thought was going to be pretty difficult, but we got it done first try by just randomly jumping into someone's lobby. And I would definitely say that overall they carried us, but we fairly held our own for the most part. So it's 15 waves that you have to survive. It's not the most difficult thing in the world as long as you have a decently high-level character and a full group of 4 people. So like I said, we got through it first try and got a ton of rewards for it, so that was a good way to level up. Currently, I've got one role fully leveled to like 21 or something. I've got another one that's at like 7 or 8, and the other 2 I haven't worked on yet. By far the most difficult trophy in the entire game is completing the 3 chapters of the raid, namely the second chapter. From what I've read, the first and third chapters are fairly short and not too difficult, but this second chapter is apparently quite time-consuming. It's like over an hour or something and pretty tricky. So not looking forward to that, but I think the raids are 4-player, which is good, because 2-player gold is really, really difficult. It's just not that well made because enemies just have a ridiculous amount of health. And because you can't heal the normal way in this either, like you can't use Resolve to heal in this version, so that's kind of annoying. New Game Plus I haven't touched yet. I'm not going to play that until I have completed Iki Island, because I want to finish off Iki Island first. So I've made very good progress here. This is a story-related trophy, I believe. Yes, that is a story-related trophy. This is all of the missions on Iki Island, which is story and side missions. It takes a little bit of time. You have to level up a couple of times. This one's pretty easy and will come naturally while doing the other trophies. This one, I think, is also a story-related trophy that you're going to get along the same time as the first trophy. Or maybe not. I don't really know because the percentages are different. I have no idea. Complete the Mythic Tales. I think there's only like 2, so that's really not that bad. Then for this one, you have to complete all the memories of your father. I've found 4 of them so far. Everything should pop up on the map once you take out all the Mongol outposts. Discover and complete all the unwritten tales. I'm not entirely sure what that is, so I might have to look that one up. Then for exploration, you have another set of 6 trophies. So you have to complete, I think, all of the monkey shrines. I think that's for completing all of the monkey shrines in the game, but maybe it's not. Bronze or higher on all the archery challenges. The highest you can get is gold. It's not hard to get bronze, but anything higher is a little tough. You have to complete all of the animal sanctuaries total. There's like 9 of those. They're fairly easy. You have to complete the Bakken duels at the Hidden Cove tournament. The first 2 of those were really easy. The third one gave me some trouble. It was the woman. And the fourth one, at first I struggled, but then I figured out his pattern and it wasn't too bad. And then you have to complete all of the haiku, onsen, whatever that is, the Shinto shrines, and the bamboo strikes. I'm not sure exactly how many there are of each, but it's not a lot because the area isn't huge. It's like the size of the first area. You also have to purchase items from the Crimson Dye Merchant and the Sakai Horse Armor Merchant, so the Horse Armor Dyeing Merchant, whatever you call them. You need flowers to do it. I don't know if I have enough flowers yet to do both of those. And then finally you have the Legends, Rivals, and Mastery challenges. This was kind of a cool idea for a game mode where it's like 2 teams of 2 on separate sides and you kill enemies to earn points. It's sort of like one of those things in Destiny 2, like the... what's it called? It's the thing that ended up being one of the best ways to do the... whatever it was called, the Triumph Seal. It was like the best way to do it. It started with a G, whatever the mode was. Reminds me of that a little bit. So winning a Legends Rival match is easy because you can do it in a private match. The 5 Shades has to be done in a public match, but it's not too difficult. Just let one player focus on it. And then for the last 2 trophies, the Binding the Gear and Purifying the Gear, both require you to be a pretty high level of Kai, or whatever you want to call it, which is basically your Destiny-style power level. So we can't do those yet. We're both at like 90-ish power. I think Ghost might be a little bit higher than I am on it. But, you know, we're making progress on it, so in total, all of these DLCs together are going to take probably like 40 to 50 hours, because Legends mode is a solid like 30-plus hours, 30-ish hours. Iki Island is another 10. The New Game Plus is probably like 10 even if you rush it. This can be done in like an hour along the way. It's not too bad. So it's a pretty good amount of content left to do, and it's going to take a while to get through everything. But we will get through it eventually, and then I will have another game off of my list, and I'll only have like 10 incompletes left until Horizon, Minecraft, or Lego Star Wars get more DLC, which I'm sure all of them will at some point. So, level 784, 86%, 23,563 total trophies, 624 platinums, 3,917 golds, 6,267 silvers, 12,755 bronzes. Plans for the upcoming week are to continue working on Ghost of Tsushima, and I also might have found someone to work on The Division with, as many times have I had said that now, which, like I mentioned before, take a drink every time I say it, but you'll probably end up dying if you do that, so please don't do that. So maybe I get a chance to look at that, but the main focus this week is Ghost of Tsushima, and then after that will be, Black Ops 3 and GTA 5, then The Division 2 and Dead Island Riptide, and then all those other old single-player only games. So yeah, the numbers are going down. There's not as much to do anymore, which is pretty nice. But also, like I said, I am not feeling well. I've had a headache all day. My sinuses have been acting up. Throat's been scratchy. I've been kind of achy and fatigued. I hope it's not the virus again, because I already had it once with the Alpha variant back in 2021 and early 2021. I would rather not have it again because, I didn't get hit hard by it, but it still wasn't fun. Or it could be just some other random viral infection, because we deal with a lot of people at work that are positive with various viruses mostly, and sometimes bacterial stuff, but it's mostly viruses. So hopefully I start feeling better with a good night's sleep, but I will post an update on the channel, like a comment, if I'm just not feeling well this week and just really can't play much, and I'll probably tweet it out as well. I should be able to get this video up unless I take like a really bad turn for the worse. So hopefully this video will be up on time. Hopefully some other trophy videos will be up on time. So that is going to be it, guys. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already. Plans for this week in terms of videos and streaming will depend entirely on how well I feel later in the week. And initially I was planning to go home for the 4th of July, but we'll have to see if that ends up being a thing that happens. So yep, that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you here for the next one.